Welcome to another episode of the Give Me 20 series. And if you are just tuning in for the first time, this whole project is around getting to know people based on who they are and how they show up. Because, I think that's where the true value is, and we get so hung up sometimes on the what we do. And I'm trying so hard to make meaningful connections with other inspiring leaders, entrepreneurs, and just go-getters out there in the community. And I'm meeting some fabulous people along the way. So today is extra special because I am spending 20 minutes with an old friend of mine who I met through one of my other businesses a few years ago. And our lives have gone on different paths over these years, and hers has actually taken her out east. So she's in Toronto now. So while most of our speakers so far have been here in Edmonton, our speaker today is currently in Toronto, but has deep roots and connections here in Edmonton too. And I know she's going to be a familiar face to several of you. So let's get started. I'm going to introduce you to her now. So today we have MariaMichelle'lee. She is a sought-after inspirational speaker, life motivator, and master spray tan educator who fully embraces the power of story to motivate, inspire, and transform the lives of others. Combining her personal and life experience with over 10 years of empowering others, Maria is best known for her ability to boost women out of their self-doubting beliefs. And we all have them, ladies. We need this help. And she's also challenging them to regain their power from within and push forward to greatness. We all have that potential, and Maria will tease it out every time. As a mirror work coach, MariaMichelle'lee is a powerhouse, encouraging women to speak their truth from the inside out. She talks about different topics, including becoming perfectly imperfect, the red bottom shoe syndrome and what it really costs to keep up with the Joneses, and people pleasers never win, right? I think we all need these messages out there. So amen, Maria, for getting it out there. So when she's not at an event speaking, you'll also find her sharing the sugar at her company, Brown Sugar Spray Tans, or enjoying family time with her husband and her kids. So without further ado, welcome, Maria. So good to have you.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And it's such a blessing to stay connected and to see you, right? So I'm happy to be here, and I am happy to share inspiration and motivation with your guests and people who are watching today.
Oh, I'm just thrilled that we were able to reconnect, because it's been a while for sure. And also just talk about these 4 favorite questions that I have that I'm trying to go to a deeper level with. And I'm finding that, there's definitely some themes in terms of the responses I'm hearing. But, you and I have talked on some deep levels. Like I remember some coffee shop talks where, like you were digging deep inside of me and seeing stuff that no one else saw, and, lifting me up and showing me the potential. And I was inspired to reciprocate. And I thought, you know what? Maria she just has to do this with me. Like I'm going to beg her if I have to, because I know that you're going to touch people with your words like you do with me all the time. So
thank you. And you didn't have to beg.
Yeah.
Like, we know that. It was like, message from Kristen? Yes.
Anyways, I'm grateful. So grateful. Okay, should we just dig right in?
Absolutely.
Okay, go for it. So question number 1, I always say it sounds simple, but it goes deep with everybody. How do you help others?
Well, I help others by simply telling them the truth. Whether we're in front of the mirror doing a mirror work workshop, whether they're standing in front of me in my tent, getting a spray tan, or whether we're just conversing and we've never met before, it's telling people the truth and not telling them what they want to hear. Of course, delivery all in love, and of course, the delivery would come from after we have conversed a little bit. Like I'm not going to be out there, let me tell you the truth right now. So it's, doing doing for somebody that I would appreciate being done for me.
Oh, and that it goes a long way because, and I've had this conversation with others too, that sometimes the truth is hard to hear. Sometimes holding up that mirror, it shows us things that we don't want to admit or things we didn't see, but it is always an opportunity. That's how I look at it. The truth is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to be better, but then also to love oneself more.
Yep.
Sometimes the truth is the beauty that you see in others, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is. And again, because truth is it's such a big word, it's a big word, and it goes down into many, many layers. And what's hurtful is when people bring truth with judgment and condemnation. Condemnation means to hold someone down, right? And that's not what truth is supposed to do. Truth is supposed to release you from being condemned, if that makes sense. In my mind, anyways, truth is what is to set us free. And if we are delivering something in love and kindness, some need tough love, some need it through compassion, right? And some need it a little mixture of both.
Yes.
But when we come with it in judgment and condemnation, that's not truth. That is someone's opinion of themselves imploding it on somebody else. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get that difference, right? So, truth is reaching into the other person and mirroring back. It's not allowing your own biases to weigh in where the judgment occurs, right? That's opinion. And, I love that you offer mirror work as a strategy for helping others, right? That's where the truth is, but you're also enabling women to see it for themselves, right? Yeah. It's one thing for someone from the outside to acknowledge, and it's another thing for us to figure it out on our own.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love it. Okay, well, we could go on with that and how it helps people, but it helps in so many ways. Okay, question number 2. What has been your greatest life lesson so far?
Do it anyways.
Do it anyways.
Yeah. In society today, and it ties in like a little bit of my background. I spent so much of my life from little girl to my adult years doing what people would expect me to do, pleasing them. And when I caught on that people pleasing never wins because everybody is going through the door, but I'm sitting at the door holding the door, or I'm the one where people rub their dirty feet off of on the mat, and then it put me in a position where you're scared to leap forward. I don't know where that came from. I can't even pinpoint it, but the minute I had my daughter, it was almost like God was showing me, this is who you are. This is who you were. And it was like, yeah, I have always been a person to go to the beat of my own drum. I've always made I was never meant to be in a square or a circle or a triangle. I was meant to be whatever the shape the Lord has given me to be in that moment. So although it can be nerve-wracking and scary, and people are going to have a lot of questions, and again, they're going to come with their opinions and what they think. I say, do it anyway. Do it anyways. And on top of that, what the nice thing is about it when you go ahead and you do it anyways, you don't owe an opinion because it does not involve anybody else but you. So do it anyways.
Yeah. It's when I hear you say that, what comes up for me for feelings is like pure 100% empowerment,
Mm.
right? I hear you speaking to me and say, you know, Kristen, there might be doubts. Kristen, people are going to have their opinions. Kristen, maybe someone else couldn't do it. Do it anyway, right? And hearing you say that, it just kind of melts away all of those things that could hold
Mm-hmm.
you back,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Just do
Yep.
it anyway.
Yep.
So that must apply too, like when you're feeling the fear,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have that
Mm-hmm.
fear of failure or that fear of success.
Mm-hmm.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway, because it's going to be there. The
Yeah.
failure is going to be there because it has to be there, one, to keep you humble, two, to test you,
Mm-hmm.
three, to clean house if you need to clean house because there might be people or something that's in your way, right? And number four, to show you if you've got grit.
Yeah.
So the failure is going to be there for you anyway.
Yeah.
We're not saying, so when people like, when I say do it anyways, yeah, but Maria, I don't want to fail. Well, you know what? Neither do I. But every time I try, I fall at least once. It's like having a baby, and the baby is at the age and the time where they want to start taking steps.
Yeah.
How many times can you say your son has fallen
Yeah.
from starting to walk?
Yeah.
How many times do you end up losing sleep because you want to make sure that gate is up at the stairs, right? So it's the same for us. The stairs are going to be there. We're going to trip over our feet. We're going to say the wrong thing. We're going to make a deal that we thought was a good collaboration or a good, coming together, and it wasn't. We are going to sign on dotted lines that we've gone over every I and crossed every T, and still something just fell through. That is life. No matter how much you strategically do it, but just do it anyways.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to know? It's that the experience is there so that we can know for the next time. The experience is there so that we can teach somebody else.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's the hidden gold. That's the hidden gold with making mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? Like you think about the resiliency you build up every single time you fall. You think
Yeah.
about the courage that you muster up because you're like, well, I tried it once before and the world didn't fall apart. I could maybe do it again. And something else, Maria, that just it really sticks with me, with you especially, because I do look up to you in so many ways, and the courage that it's taken for you to move all the way out east, like lift up your family, move across this country, and do it because you knew what was right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But without even knowing or without even trying, we're inspiring others.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so watching you take that massive, big, bold leap into the unknown, you just did it anyway. But the ripples that you've created for others to sit back and see and be like, oh, wow, look at her go. Look at her go. What can I do? Maybe I could do something like that. That's powerful to me.
Thank you. Yeah. And I have to say with me, I am that type of a person. And as I said, I wasted too much time listening to the opinions of others instead of the spirit and the voice that is within me. And everything has its timing as well. Like maybe those things were there to, to keep me settled for a moment in time until it was time to go. Because sometimes we can leap too early and then we're like, uh-oh, you know what I mean? But it was just, we had this calling that we needed to go. We needed to go. It was time. So much so that we ended up overstaying our welcome in Edmonton, even though I was raised there. But we just knew. And sure enough, by the time we left, the market headed in a way that wasn't serving me. And because of the industry my husband was in, it wasn't serving him either. And let's just say the water was getting up to chest level now. And if we didn't move when we were called to move, I know that we wouldn't have made it. So
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes you just got to do when people are talking
yeah.
and they're like, no, no, just wait. Nope, I got to go. Like the blinders go on and the earplugs go in. I can't hear you and I can't see you because I got to go. Mhm.
And you just
Yeah,
do it, right? And
just do it. Yeah.
you just do it. And I think there comes a point in our lives, and I don't want to make a generalization here for all
No.
at all
Yeah.
ages, but from my own experience and from a lot of women that I talk to, there comes a point in our lives. I don't know if there's a magical age or what.
So,
And suddenly that inner voice, that intuitive voice, somehow it's louder than all the other voices combined. And we actually start listening to it. And some women, maybe they tap into that sooner than others. I'm not sure.
yeah.
But, I think honoring that within ourselves and listening
Mm-hmm.
is a very powerful rite of passage in our lives.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Okay. On to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I talk a lot about hope. I think
Mm-hmm.
hope is an incredibly powerful emotion in our experience, and we need to be topped up in that department, I think, especially during tough times. So I love to understand from other people what they're hopeful for in the future. So what 2 things are you most hopeful for in the future?
Mm. Okay, so what am I hopeful for? Well, the first thing is I am hopeful for our children. I am hopeful that our children, it's even, hope and faith.
Yeah.
Right? I see them as the two becoming one, as the two as one. But our hope for our children is that they become better ambassadors of this world than we did. My hope for my legacy, our two princes and one princess, is that when they are ready to make a change, that they will not back down from the truth of who they really were, who they really are, that they, doors will be open for them that regular people wouldn't be able to get through the door. You know what I mean? So my hope for them is that they will carry on whatever it is that God has stirred up in me, whatever it is that God has stirred up in Dwayne, and they will take it to the next level. I don't know how many faith believers are a part of your community, but it's that part where, where Moses could only go so far, and then, it was handed over, right? And taken further. So my hope is my children will go further than we ever did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Secondly, oh my goodness, my hope is that I am going, or I am being of good service to other people. That is my hope. And that I'm doing it right. I may have made mistakes in the past, but are they mistakes or are they life lessons? So my hope is to be more bold, catch more women, um, inspire them richly, deeply, and more of them, not just a handful. Like, if I could, Kristen, I would tell every woman across every nation how much they are needed. So my hope is to be able to go boldly and continue to change the lives of other women one hug at a time, and telling them that they're worthy, and telling them whoever told you whatever when you were younger, or that relationship that didn't work, those things are broken off now. So my hope is to go boldly before and start doing more of that.
Oh, like, get this lady a stage, right? We need to get you a stage where there's like thousands of people filling the room so that you can fulfill that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, your message is so clear and so on point when I hear you talk about this, that, and I think it's just a question of you, 1 + 1 will equal 2. When you reach a woman, a single woman, or a group of 1,000, you will speak your message and you will help them in such a deep and such an empowering and positive way, that, you know, I think you're there. I think it's, you know, it's such a great hope to have because it's so realistic. Like, you can touch it. It's tangible, even one at a time, right? And those ripples, no doubt about it. You start with one, and then the message that you've shared carries on to others, right? Beautiful hopes. And I also love what you've said about our kids. Just, it's almost like carrying it on into a grander scale, and to learn from what's worked well for us and the mistakes we've made, to take it to a whole other level. And, you know, isn't that how generations have evolved to where we are? Like, haven't we really been able to just move mountains already? Right? And we've come so far in so many ways, and that gives me hope for potential in the future. You know, we've got a long way to go in so many ways.
So many.
Long way to go. But we can only do so much in our short lives, right?
That's
We've only
right.
got so many years. So all we've got as parents is to plant the seeds.
That's right.
And to nurture them and enable them to go forth and try to do more than we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not in the tangibles at all. It's in the intangibles. It's the words. It's the help each one teach one, lift each other up. It's that. It's not about the cars. It's not about the nice houses. It's not about what size of the ring it is. It's something even as simple as, you know what? I noticed that, you know, you're a single mom or a single dad, and I picked up some extra groceries for you because I know what it's like to see the back of my fridge, and I can sense that you're struggling. So I want to help plant a seed today. So here's this bag of groceries. No questions asked. Here you go. I just sense that you need it. I need us to be a world that we can just sense that and help somebody. I was talking to a friend on the weekend, and I was saying that, you know, we are so much of the cloak of the red bottom shoes that we miss out on very deep felt conversation. We miss out on knowing if somebody's struggling, and we don't say anything because, one, of shame, and two, we don't want to be the topic at the dinner table with other friends that are having wine and living life and talking about us as the entertainment of the evening. So there's that, you know?
Absolutely. And, you know, helping people is something that, like, just very generically, it's what I want in life. That's kind of my life purpose.
Yeah.
Helping people, and we can look at, like, so many different things in so many different ways. And it's so important for our kids to see us do that, to see that example, to you know, see the impact that it makes, and to build the confidence to just do it themselves too, right? So, yeah, I hope for all of that. Right there with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, on to question number 4. It's the last one.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear what you say to this one. But I'm interested in knowing what your favorite quote is and why.
Okay. So listen, it took me a while. I was at the point where I was like, I don't know which one to choose.
Okay.
So I'm going with this one.
Okay.
This one I learned this past week, and it stuck with me. The people of your past, if they cannot accept where you're going in your future, they are unnecessary. That is by Dr. Darius Daniels. I love this because people get stuck in the past. People look at you as the person you were yesterday. People you broke bread with today may not be the same person that you're going to be breaking bread with tomorrow. And some people can't handle the change. Some of your friends and family cannot handle change. And you need to sit with yourself and ask the question, are they necessary?
Yeah. Ooh,
right?
that's hard, Maria. That's hard.
Yeah.
How do you let go of these people? Because we sometimes gather people, right? We collect them. We think the more friends we have, the stronger we'll be. Or, you know, those
Kristen,
bonds. Like how do we let go of that?
But Kristen, we also have to have enough love and honor for ourselves to know that we are not garbage.
Yes.
We are not garbage. And so when we let people dump on us, or we have people talking about yesterday, there is Bishop Moody. Bishop Moody wrote a book called The People Factor. And in that book, he talks about the different types of people in our lives. We have today's people, we have yesterday's people, and we have tomorrow's people, right?
Mm.
Today's people are so focused on today.
Yeah.
Good, right? Yesterday's people is constantly living in, yeah, man. You remember when? Well, you know, what is your problem? You used to drink a lot. We used to have a lot of fun. Those. And then we have tomorrow people. And tomorrow people are like, you know what, man? Today was so good, but tomorrow? So you have to sit down with yourself and ask, who is necessary? Now, you got to start with you, right? You have to start with you. What am I doing that is in the past that is unnecessary for today?
Yeah.
Then you've got to start, you know, I call it, when it comes to family and friends, then you got to start doing the, moving the furniture in the living room. Mm-hmm. So who is not necessarily important, but your journey with them is not done, you can now take that sofa and move it from the front of the room to the back of the room. Mm-hmm. And then the people that you're like, they're pretty much out, but timing is everything. That couch can go downstairs in the basement now. You see where I'm going with that? Yep. Until it's ready to bring it up from the basement and say, you know what? You got to go because you're tattered. You're holding me back. I can't get the couch steam cleaned enough. You know, it's sinking in the center. Yeah. You are not sinking sand. Yeah. You are built up a foundation of the primest, you know, cement that you can get. Yeah. So it starts with you, but you have to ask yourself the question, what is not necessary within me? And then from there, I got to start doing a check. Okay, unnecessary. Because if you hold on to all of that stuff, you can't get to your tomorrow. So if I come back around the sun a whole year and you still are where you are, that's because you have some unnecessary baggage that you need to let go.
Oh, unnecessary, you know, and what's coming up for me as I hear you say this, first of all, I completely agree. I think it's sometimes hard for us because of things like shame and guilt and like all those uglies that don't serve us. But you know, like we have infinite time, or we don't have infinite time. We have a finite timeline. We have finite space. Right? Like there's only so much space in our hearts and our minds to fully engage with the people within our circle, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's only so many hours in the day. Mm-hmm. And being selective is not only good for ourselves, but it's I can show up better for other people in my life if there isn't the baggage in between, right? So if I can clear away the clutter, I can show up better for the people in my life. And I love how you've used the analogy of shifting the furniture around, right? We change. If we don't change within that cycle around the sun, something's wrong. Yep. So we change all the time. Our needs, our wants, our interests, our values shift a little bit. Usually we got the core values, but some of our values will shift as we mature and get a little wiser with age, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think you're onto something here, that the people in our lives, they're not all there forever after.
Nope.
And that's a good thing, right? That's us growing. That's us expanding to other circles too.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It is okay to let go. Because here's the other thing that people need to realize. They're talking about you now, and they're going to talk about you after you declared it and said you no more, right? Because we can't change. It's none of our business what people think and have to say about us, right? And they're never, ever, and I've been in the situation multiple of times. You've had the opportunity to come and ask why things changed and where did they go wrong and this and that. But you choose not to. You choose to ask somebody that is connected to me why. You understand what I'm trying to say? So they're going to talk about you anyways. So let it go. Let go of the ego of trying to defend your position, right? Honor the fact that when you lie down at night, you are lying down in peace. We can't control what people have to say about us. Does it hurt? Absolutely. Is it going to sting? Yes. But give it a moment, because they'll find somebody else where you're not even the front, you're not even the head of the news anymore. You know what I mean? So we have to be okay that we're going to feel hurt. We're going to feel betrayed. We know we're being talked about and gossiped about, but when they were in my circle, they were talking about me anyways. They're gossiping about me anyways. They were sharing my business with somebody else anyways. So what's the difference? The only difference is now you're out in front of it and you're not looking from behind the curtain. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're taking away the power from the negative forces. Really, you're taking that power away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're putting it back in yourself, and that's where it really matters. So,
And my hands aren't clean either. I had to go through that experience, right? I was in that because that's, what you think conversation is all about. But when you are aware, when you know better, you do better. And then all of a sudden you start seeing, oh, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done that. Right? And that's how your changes start to come.
Totally. And I love how you brought this back to looking within as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because there's learning from other people and seeing what they do. But if we don't translate that and take a look on the inside, ask, how have I done this? I see that behavior that I don't like, I don't appreciate. Hold on a minute. Have I done that? Do I do that? Right? Like, hold up, before I call someone out, I should probably look in the mirror. Check yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, okay, great quote. And I love everything you had to say around it. Oh, so we've covered the 4, and now we've got the extra bonus question with the Wheel of Wisdom. So are you ready for the world?
I am super ready.
Okay, so let's bring it up. Hopefully it comes up without any trouble here. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. Right on. And here we go. We're going to give it a spin, and it's going to randomly pick a word, and then I just want to get your thoughts. Whatever comes up for you. There's no right or wrong. I just want to see what this word means for you. So here we go. And our word for you. Ooh. Activation.
Okay. So
tell me, what comes up for you?
As I said at the beginning, do it anyways. What I like to tell my clients is that we have 3 levels of thought, okay? And eventually it brings a step to being active. So there's an idea. It's just an idea. Or then it becomes a vision, the idea. So D1, D2, D3. So there's 3 levels here. So it's an idea. Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden you start seeing it come together. right? And then all of a sudden you start moving into that position so it can come to life, right? So there's 3 dimensions of a vision.
Mm-hmm.
You think it, you see it in there, and you put it into action.
Yeah.
That could be for anything. It could be if you want a new job. It could be if how you want to live your life. It could be if, weight loss. It could be anything. But the key is once you think it, then you see it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to write it down to start the activation, right? You have to write it down, then you take it and you start doing action steps for it, right? So basically, if you say, I want to lose weight, and it might be as small as I'm going to start with drinking 2 liters of water a day. Okay, the idea, you see it. You're at the grocery store. What do you see? A 2-liter pretty cute water bottle. What is going to make that active to make sure it gets in your body? Filling it up with water and writing it down and committing to drink the water. You have to be impeccable with your word that you said about yourself, and you have to do the action. Because the next time I see you and I said, oh, how's your, drinking your water challenge going? Right? You gotta put it in action. You gotta activate what you want.
Oh, yeah, that's, it's such a great analogy of something that seems relatively simple. I mean, gosh, right? If you look on the spectrum of things that are easy to do and really hard to do,
Yeah.
I want to start drinking 2 liters of water a day versus I want to start a new business. Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of in my sphere when I work with budding entrepreneurs who are terrified to take the leap and start a business, right? So
Yeah.
how do you activate at all of those levels? But the water analogy, you're absolutely right. Figuring out what's it going to take to translate that vision into steps, right? And that's going to help you be successful in that actual activation. And there's theory, right? Like there's theory around activation energy and how that's the toughest part. Starting to get a new workout routine, right? The first few times, they're really hard. The motivation to get on that treadmill may be really hard. Overcome that. You see yourself doing it. That vision's being translated.
And sorry to interrupt you, but may I say something else? Whether you're starting a business, whether you're making personal changes in your life, get off anybody who you're comparing yourself with. I say that because activation stops when people start comparing themselves. Comparison is the thief of all joy. It is really true. But if your head is down, and we'll, use taking care of your body as the example again, don't look at how often somebody was on the treadmill or how much a person can lift or whatever. The simple fact that you got up this morning and you took your knee and brought it in towards your chest and stretched it is a way to celebrate that you committed to the water. But if you are so busy watching people on social media, you, like I said, go around the sun again, it's not going to get done, right? So me personally would encourage you to get off of anything or remove yourself from anything that's no longer motivating you, but doing the opposite, right? Which is keeping you where you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, it comes from the internal. Watching someone else on the treadmill isn't going to motivate you to take the action to go make a difference. It's only going to make you beat yourself up more, right? It's got to come from within. So don't waste your time. I'm with you. Gosh, if we could just change the world today, and eliminate that whole competition on social media nonsense, wouldn't that be amazing? Just do your thing. You're great.
Just do your thing.
Do your thing. Just do it.
Do your thing. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Maria, this has been so uplifting for me. It really has. I've just thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you again for taking 20 minutes plus and doing this with me today.
It was absolutely beautiful. It fed my soul too. So this is good. This is
Awesome.
really good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So I have a funny feeling that people are going to want to reach out to you and get to know you a little bit more.
Hmm.
I encourage everyone to follow you, especially like on social media, because these little punches of wisdom just come out of left field, and like they always get me like right in the gut, and I'm like, oh yeah, total truth right there. So how is the best way, what is the best way for people to follow or reach out or connect with you?
Right. The best way, honestly, is on Instagram at MariaMichelle'lee, and then you can find all the other little connective places of where I be. And it's because I just chose to simplify it that way. I know websites are really great to have, but again, you're not seeing me in the reel. You're seeing a picture and about me. So seeing me, all of me
Yeah.
in the reel, Instagram.
Awesome. That's so good. And ways that you could maybe help others. Do you offer coaching services still? Do you offer speaking engagements? Like if people want to reach out to you and say, hey, I need more of you, is this something you
Hmm.
can help others with?
Yep. Again, get a hold of me via Instagram, and then I can tell you where to send the email and stuff.
Yeah.
I love pouring into people. So basically, what I do now is the motive. If you're looking for a particular type of coaching, the particular type of coaching I do is the mirror work for one, still yes. And then I do a little thing called an hour of power where I speak to you. We talk, what's going on, girl? And it's very, girl, can we talk? Like, let that truth I was telling you about. And it's just an hour of power. We talk for the hour, and I pour into you. We take some notes down and a little bit, and some tips to help you move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power that like just lights me up. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
And
Okay.
then, so other than that, I'm helping spray tan people build their business. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so cool. So like seriously, so many angles to connect with you on. And that's awesome. Okay, well, thank you again, Maria. And thank you to all of our viewers for checking out another episode. And I look forward to the next one. So for now, take care, Maria, and I hope to see you in person someday soon.
Someday soon, maybe a big convention or something.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, bye for
All
now.
right. Take care. Bye-bye.